Alright, so I'm going to get into some spoilers with this one. So anybody who just wants a general review of the film or just a too long did not watch version, wait till it's on some streaming service we don't actually have to pay any extra money to go see it. Alright, now what I will say about Hitman is that it does have some really cool action sequences, some really cool fight scenes, and some really cool gunplay. The problem is that mostly all of it feels out of place. It just feels so forced into the film. I don't claim to be the biggest Hitman fan. I played a few of the games, but from my understanding, he's supposed to be a silent assassin, and the way he kills in this film is anything but silent. I mean, I don't even think he uses a silencer, at least not very many times anyway. But if you separate it from the game and just look at it as a film on its own, then it makes for a barely passable action film. But even then, it's still wanting. Twists, I don't know if you call them twists, but these twists that they were doing for the film was so pointless because none of it I felt like I cared about. For one thing, like Zachary Quinto's character, John Smith, you know, when he's introduced to the film, you know, he's the good guy and he's coming to save Katya, you know, from the hitman coming to kill her, and that's what, you know, we kind of assume he's a good guy at this point. You know, he's coming to save her. Come with me if you want to live, right? And then he takes it, you know, after some kerfuffle, he takes her to this some hotel or some wherever the place was, and then 47 catches up with them. He shoots him in the chest, bang, bang, bang. You think he's dead. Turns out he's got bulletproof body armor or whatever it was, but you think he's dead at this point. And then Agent 47 takes Katya away, and then he tells about the whole agent thing. Oh, you like me, you should escape. Twists and turns, and you know, shake it all about. And then that happens, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, now she's on his side, and now you see Zachary Quinto again, and now I'm the bad guy. I'm coming to get you because I'm better than you. So just like I'm better than you. And it was like, what? Where? You know, just there was no build up. There's no transition. There's nothing that. I mean, I get that it was supposed to be a twist or some kind of surprise, but it was just done so poorly that I just didn't care. Zachary Quinto, by the way, was easily the best thing in this film. He's a fantastic actor, and he's a fantastic actor in this film as well, but they bitched this character so much in this film. They really screw that character. And Katya's character, I don't know what they were doing with her, because it's like, she was supposed to be like, you know, the like Agent 90, I think they were referred to as, her name means 90 in French, or, you know, something like that. So she's supposed to be like, you know, the 90th agent, and, you know, she's the best that they've made, but she doesn't know it. So she's got this awareness thing, which kind of works like a spidey sense, you know, she can kind of sense danger coming, which, okay, cool, fair enough, but they overdone it so much, and it just got to a point where it felt like I was watching an episode of That's So Raven. You know, every time it's like, danger's coming. And I had this whole thing about how the agents were bred to be, you know, stronger and smarter than the average person, and it's bred to kill and they're devoid of human emotions. And okay, cool, fine, I get that. That makes sense to me. But then they had this whole stuff about, oh yeah, no, what we choose our own destinies, and it's what we do that defines us. It's like, what is this, Batman? And the final twist at the end, when you realize that it wasn't actually supposed to be Katya's daddy that he was trying to kill. It was actually supposed to be like the big shot bad guy, Alexandra. I can't remember his name right now. And then Katya he's supposed to kill as well, but you know, Katya's daddy blew himself up, and he's all like, oh no, but we choose. And he has to face off with his Agent 48, who's just exactly like him. Apparently he's got a twin brother. So I read this interview on GameSpot a little while ago with one of the producers, Adrian Ascari, if I'm saying that correctly, and he said that the reason why there's so many bad movies based on video games is because they're made by people who aren't fans of games. And I thought, okay, fair enough. I mean, it's not something I particularly agree with. You know, games and movies are different mediums, so I don't necessarily see the correlation specifically, but fair enough, right? So I looked up Adrian Ascari. I hadn't heard of him before that. I looked him up on the Internet Movie Database, and what I saw was that he actually produced the first Hitman movie, and that movie was terrible. I mean, terrible. As in, you get a ball and you tear it. Terrible. It's even worse than this film. That's how bad it is. But I thought, you know what? I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. It was a long time ago. Maybe he's learned a few things since then. He's talking like he knows what he's talking about. Well, a little bit anyway. So, you know, let's check it out. And yes, it's better, right? In terms of the way they try to develop the characters. And, you know, I don't feel they actually develop them particularly well. But, you know, I'd say it's a better quality film. But still, it's far from being anything you could call good, I think, you know. So if you'd like to watch some films involving hitmen, here's some films that I'll recommend that you watch instead of Hitman. First of all, The Killer by John Woo, starring Chow Yun-fat and Danny Lee, and Leon, the Professional by Luc Besson, starring Jean Reno and Natalie Portman. Now, both these films are remakes of a French film called Le Samurai, which I have not seen, but since both these films are fantastic, I'm kind of inclined to recommend that as well. Now, The Killer, when I saw this I just thought was so beautiful. I thought it was just amazing how it was done. The stories between this and Leon are similar in parts, but they're very, very different as well. So you're not just watching the same movie over and over again. There's you'll see that there's key points that are quite close to each other, but a lot of it is different. For example, this has the relationship between the cop and the killer and that dynamic and how they come together. Leon doesn't do that, but Leon focuses more on the relationship between the killer and the young girl played by Natalie Portman. Leon, just also another beautiful film I felt as well, just the way the angles are done, just the way how the story plays out. Also features Gary Oldman, who's fantastic in this film. He's like the main protagonist. He has this part where he just goes crazy and he's all like, "Get me everyone, everyone, everyone!" But yeah, both of those fantastic films. Interesting little facts about Leon the Professional, actually. Firstly, it is actually pronounced Leon and not Leon because, you know, it's French. But at the time it came out, there was a rumor going around that the director's cut had a sex scene between Leon, the adult male, and Natalie Portman's character, who was a little girl at the time, and it was supposed to be like this near pornographic sex scene that apparently was in the director's cut. I do actually have the director's cut of this film, and there is no such sex scene that exists in this movie, so you can watch it safely. Not that I bought it because I was expecting a paedophile sex scene or anything. Moving on. Collateral by Michael Mann, starring Jamie Foxx, Tom Cruise, and Jada Pinkett Smith. A fantastic film. Jamie Foxx plays a cab driver who picks up a fare. Tom Cruise, who happens to be a killer, doing his rounds, and he's taking him about killing people, pretty much holding Fox hostage while he does so. What I really liked about this film was the relationship between Cruise and Fox and the conversations they get into about philosophy and their attitudes towards killing and death and how it's somewhat contradictory at times. It's a really fascinating, fantastic film, definitely worth checking out. Now, bonus film, not quite a Hitman movie. In Leon, he refers to himself as a cleaner. I refer to this guy as more of a personal assistant. You know, he takes care of his boss's dirty laundry. But still a great film that I think is worth mentioning. It's called A Bittersweet Life. This is by Kim Ji-woon. It stars Lee Byung-hun, who you may recognize from the G.I. Joe movies. He's been in a few other Hollywood films as well, so he's does quite well for himself outside of Korea. Fantastic film. He's a right-hand man for the main boss, and he's been asked to keep an eye on his boss's much younger girlfriend because he thinks she might be cheating on him, which, you know, turns out she is. Not really a spoiler, by the way. There's more to the film than that, but definitely worth checking out. Lots of great action pieces, some martial arts, gunplay. Dudes are getting shot to shit in this movie, but yeah, fantastic film, worth checking out. So those are my thoughts on Hitman Agent 47. It's an okay film if you really stretch the definition of okay. A few things it did right, like casting Zachary Quinto. Lots of things it did wrong, like not casting Zachary Quinto as Hitman Agent 47 himself. I felt he would have been a much better job. No disrespect to Rupert Friend, he was good as Hitman, but I felt Zachary Quinto would have been better, especially after seeing him in Star Trek and how he plays Spock there. But whatever, it went this way and it is what it is. If you really want to know what this film is like, if you play a Hitman game while having, say, Spider-Man playing on a different screen and That's So Raven playing on another screen, I think you get pretty much the experience. In fact, it might actually end up being better, quite frankly. But, you know, if you've seen the film, let me know what you think. If you haven't seen the film, let me know if you still want to see it. Either way, let me know stuff in the comments, whether they're down below. If you're watching this after some YouTube redesign, the comment box might have been moved somewhere else. But they're around somewhere, so leave a comment. Give me a like if you like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check my other videos too. Till next time. Guns don't kill people, rappers do.